Ceasefire House of Representatives Wagner Group Egypt United Arab Emirates Sudan Government of National Accord Syrian National Army Turkey National Salvation Government Shura Council of Benghazi Revolutionaries Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb ISIL Nouri Abu Samang Sadiq Al-Gharyani Abu Khalid Al-Madani Mukhtar Belmokhtar Musa Abu Dawood Islamist conflict with Libyan National Army ISIL and anti-ISIL operations factional fighting LNA vs GNA terror attacks foreign involvement peace process. The Second Libyan Civil War was a multi-sided civil war that lasted from 2014 to 2020 in the North African country of Libya, fought between different armed groups, mainly the House of Representatives and the Government of National Accord, the General National Congress, based in western Libya and backed by various militias with some support from Qatar and Turkey. Initially accepted the results of the 2014 election, but rejected them after the Supreme Constitutional Court nullified an amendment regarding the roadmap for Libya's transition and HOR elections. The House of Representatives is in control of eastern and central Libya and has the loyalty of the Libyan National Army, and has been supported by airstrikes by Egypt and the UAE. Due to controversy about constitutional amendments, HOR refused to take office from GNC in Tripoli, which was controlled by armed Islamist groups from Misrata. Instead, HOR established its parliament in Tobruk, which is controlled by General Haftar's forces. In December 2015, the Libyan political agreement was signed after talks in Skhirat, as the result of protracted negotiations between rival political camps based in Tripoli, Tobruk, and elsewhere, which agreed to unite as the Government of National Accord. On 30 March 2016, Fayez Sarraj, the head of GNA, arrived in Tripoli and began working from there despite opposition from GNC. In addition to those three factions, there are the Islamist Shura Council of Benghazi Revolutionaries, led by Ansar al-Sharia, which had the support of the GNC and was defeated in Benghazi in 2017. The Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant's Libyan provinces. The Shura Council of Mujahideen in Derna, which expelled ISIL from Derna in July 2015 and was later itself defeated in Derna by the Tobruk government in 2018, as well as other armed groups and militias whose allegiances often change. In May 2016, GNA and GNC launched a joint offensive to capture areas in and around Sirte from ISIL. This offensive resulted in ISIL losing control of all significant territories previously held in Libya. Later in 2016, forces loyal to Khalifa al-Gawil attempted a coup d'état against Fayez al-Sarraj and the Presidential Council of GNA. On 23 October 2020, the 5+5 Joint Libyan Military Commission representing the LNA and the GNA reached a permanent ceasefire agreement in all areas of Libya. The agreement, effective immediately, required that all foreign fighters leave Libya within 3 months while a joint police force would patrol disputed areas. The first commercial flight between Tripoli and Benghazi took place that same day. The war concluded on 24 October 2020. On 10 March 2021, an interim unity government was formed, and is slated to remain in place until the 2021 Libyan general election in December. At the beginning of 2014, Libya was governed by the General National Congress. The two major groups in parliament had failed to reach political compromises on the larger, more important issues that the GNC faced. Division among these parties, the row over the political isolation law, and a continuous unstable security situation greatly impacted the GNC's ability to deliver real progress towards a new constitution for Libya, which was a primary task for this governing body. The GNC also included members associated with conservative Islamist groups as well as revolutionary groups. Some members of the GNC had a conflict of interest due to associations with militias and were accused of channeling government funds towards armed groups and allowing others to conduct assassinations and kidnappings. Parties holding majority of seats and some holding minority of seats began to use boycotts or threats of boycotts, which increased division and suppressed relevant debates by removing them from the congressional agenda. Voting to declare Sharia law and establishing a special committee to review all existing laws to guarantee they comply with Islamic law. Imposing gender segregation and compulsory hijab at Libyan universities, and refusing to hold new elections when its electoral mandate expired in January 2014 until General Khalifa Haftar launched a large-scale military offensive against the Islamists in May 2014. Code-named Operation Dignity. The 2012 elections, overseen by the Libyan Electoral Commission with the support of the UN Special Mission in Libya and non-governmental organizations like the International Foundation for Electoral Systems, have been considered fair and free by most.